Hey everyone, it's Charlie. Thanks for tuning in. Table 3, blind on blind, defended with ace-6, got a jack-8 deuce two-tone board. I've got no real piece of it and no back doors, so I'm just going to keep checking back my weak ace high. He checks the turn, I check back. River is 6, a smidge of showdown value here. Smidge more than before, out through some weak pairs and better ace highs. As pretty far down as possible bluff catchers go. Should be a pretty weak line, though, at the same time. Checking all the way down and betting the river blind on blind. I think I'll just go ahead and fold it pretty close. I'd call a little bit smaller bet. Close, though. A little bit better hand, I would call, too. Table 4, 2.5x something from the cutoff. I'll 3-bet it on my big blind with pocket tens. It called, get a king 9-6 rainbow board. Good board to go ahead and throw on a small bet. Mostly checking turns. The 10 obviously is the best turn for me, though it doesn't necessarily mean I have the best hand, as it completes 7-8 and Jack 10, a couple very reasonable draws that would be in here and floating the flop. Called. Turn is the 6. Doesn't improve him unless he was on a 6. We'll go ahead and check at this point. I can have flush draws that are betting. I can have hands like Queen Jack, Jack 10, or some straight draws. Don't really have much 6x. I think I'm checking a lot here. River is the jack. Don't love that, as now the gut shots have outdrawn me. They're either pairing up or making the straight. Gonna keep checking, try to show it against a hand like pocket eights. Table 1, similar scenario, 2.5x cutoff open. I'll 3-bet from my big blind with pocket tens. Table 3, gonna open ace 9 on the button. I think this is a little weak to actually bluff catch here. I think bluff raising here is also a little out of line. Table 2, going to open ace 9 from middle position. A little bit loose, but we got some promising candidates to play against up here on this table. So we've got him cold calling the 3-bet. I'll fold against the 3-bet, of course. Shows he's playing kind of silly, snap cold calling a 3-bet like that. Table 4, opening 5 is in the cutoff. Decent flop for 5, 7, 4, 3, two-tone. Do have the 5 of spades in my hand. Big blind calls, checks to me. I will go ahead and continuation bet for half pot. Just the checking back turns with this hand. I get called. Do get called. Turn is the king. I think I want to using like a 3/4 type size here in this spot. Don't need to overbet or check. I can bet hands like pocket eights or better, ace seven or better, just to guard against, pairs plus gut shots. Random overcards are still in there. Obviously, if they hit a king, those can mostly be bet. Go ahead and check back pocket fives. Good river for me. The 6 gives me the 4 straight. Is a flush closer. My hand is pretty good here, though. Table 1, going to open ace jack under the gun. And he bets into me with the block bet. I don't think I should be raising this for value. I'm obviously not folding. I'd be raising flushes. I think I'll just go ahead and call it ace queen high. I don't know. I want to be straights for value. Then maybe if I've got using both cards in my hand, if I've got a hand like 5/8, something, I wouldn't really have that. But if I did, I guess that could be raised. I think the should mostly be limiting your value raises to flushes there and bluff raises to something with a spade blocker that 5 I can just call down with. That's fine. Table 1, big blind calls. I get an ace 6-3 rainbow board. I'm going to go ahead and put in a small continuation bet. Table 3, recreational player limps under the gun. I'm isolating from the button with pocket eights. My isolation raise gets 3-bet from 4.5 to 15. Slightly large, but fairly reasonable size. Defend with probably play my entire continue range here for a call, so I've got traps like aces, kings, queens, ace, king. Can get lots of mid pairs in there as well, and suited Broadway type hands. What if I want to be calling pocket eights there pre-flop? Get a king 10-6 two-tone board. I do have the spade in my hand. Stab small, or continuation bet small, about a quarter pot. I'll call with pocket eights with the spade. And maybe fold some of the pocket pairs, like 7s, 8s, 9s without a spade. Checks back, or he checks the turn on me and the 4 of clubs, putting the second flush draw up there. This is one of my weakest hands at this point, so I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a bluff. And stab half pot here. I can have 10s, 6s, kings, actually, aces, kings, ace, king by flat and pre-flop. And it's like king, queen, king, jack, king, 10. Something like ace 10, pocket jacks, pocket queens. Make good check backs there. My draws are hands like queen, jack, ace, queen, ace, jack. Those can be bet or check. I think those low pocket pairs like 9s, 8s, 7s with a spade that call the flop bet are the ones that should start bluffing the turn there. Table 2, going to open Jack 10 in the cutoff. Recreational player in the small blind comes along for a call, checks to me. I'll put in a small continuation, but a 9-8-5 monotone. No relevant suit in my hand, but I do have 2 overs open that in straight draw. Turn is the offsuit ace. I'm going to continue betting against this guy. I use the 3/4 size here. Semi-bluffing against a fish on a flush possible board. Let's see here. The river is the 10 of hearts. I'm really not trying to get him to fold flushes when I'm fairly high up in the range. Well, I'm trying to think, well, actually, what bluffs do I have here that don't have a pair, now that I think about it? I either have middling hearts, some kind of heart draw that made a flush in the 4 flush, or some kind of straight. I guess this actually should be my bluff hand right here. Kind of high up, but it can fold them off a weak flush or an ace. Could not fold them off of either. I don't think I have any bluffs there if I show that down. Not that that's the end of the world. The real question is it more valuable to bluff or show it down? I don't know. Probably doesn't have that much showdown value there. Table 3, going to defend a 3x under the gun open from my big blind with pocket deuces. Table 4, I'm in the small blind and facing the 2.5x open from the cutoff. I have queen 10 suited. Going to go ahead and put in a 3-bet there. Table 1, the flop checks through on 9-8-4 rainbow. Turns the 10, completing the rainbow. I'll keep checking my deuces. River is a queen, putting a 4 straight out there. Fairly low down in my range. It's 6th pair, worse than all 5 pairs on the board, plus any jack makes a straight. I'm going to turn this into a bluff and just blast out here. Hold him off pairs that beat me. Game's not that great at the moment. Got one decent table, had a recreational player up here, but for the most part, I'm doing the table shuffle dance trying to find good games. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon here in the East Coast on a Saturday, maybe a bit early for the games to really get going. Okay, this guy's not reloading and he's limp. We'll go ahead and give him a tag. New player here that's auto-posting in middle position. It might just be a software glitch, but I'm going to keep an eye on that and stick around a couple extra orbits and see if this guy is worth playing against. Now he's open limping. The auto post could be a software glitch, but open limping the next hand, that's a pretty telltale sign that he's not a serious regular. Unless he comes in with the automatic limp re-raise here and makes me eat my words. Hey, there we go. What a guy. Clever, clever. Lost one wreck up here on table 2, but looks like a 60 blind stack has showed back up in this place, so that's a good sign. Under the gun player goes ahead and pops it up to 4, a bit larger than usual because of the dead poster. Recreational player calls behind, as does the auto poster. It comes around to my big blind sitting on pocket aces. Go ahead and put in a squeeze. Not really sure of the right sizing convention here because such an unusual spot with the janky sizings going on. What, 16? RFI player folds out, but the recreational player calls the 16. Good things brewing so far. Other poster comes along and calls 2. Jack, Jack, 3 rainbow. Even these guys could be sitting on trip jacks, but otherwise my hand is very, very strong here. I'm going to go ahead and check range out of position to both players. Aces makes a great check here because it's not very vulnerable to pretty much anything on that board. I guess you could 2 out a set for a full house against me. 2 out a pocket pair to turn into a full house. Yada, yada, yada. For the moment, I'll just go ahead and play out of the check line. Stabs about a quarter pot with very little behind. No need to raise and blow him off the hands that I beat. This guy puts in the check raise. The other guy snap calls. I just don't see how I get away from aces here against these recreational players. If he's got the jack, he's got the jack. I'm putting it in. And they both have the jacks. Yeah. All right. Good game to be in, though. I like that the Jack 8 hit his kicker then to outdraw the Jack King player. Kind of get a kick out of that. Table 1, min open under the gun. I'm on the button with King 10 suited, putting in the 3-bet. Table 3 can open Queen 10 on the button. Table 3 got a player posting dead in the cutoff. I'll raise and raise larger from middle position. Go back and forth if using a standard size against the posting players is better or using more like an isolation size. I don't really know which is better. I don't know that it makes a big difference either. I suppose if I can't figure out which one is better, it's probably pretty close. Either way, I want to raise ace-5 suited here. You know, if they've got the jack, they've got the jack. Silly hand. 16 short stack and new short stack here in the new table 3. We'll check this one out. Table 1, gonna open King Queen under the gun. Recreational player at the small blind calls. Good flop for me. Queen 8-3 rainbow. I'm gonna go ahead and start sizing up here against a recreational player with a strong top pair on the flop. You know, I bet most or all of my more marginal hands and bluffs for a smaller size there, so that strategy in no way is balanced or well put together, but there's no risk against a guy playing 80, 10, 65 blinds deep. You can just sort of do whatever makes the most sense and get away with it. Table 1, cutoff opens 2.5. Recreational button calls. Happy to close the action, defend my big blind with pocket threes. We'll check to them on the King 10-10 rainbow board. Get a half pot continuation bet, then a call. I will just get out of the way with threes. Table 3, blind down blind, open limps. I'm going to raise up pretty aggressively from the big blind there. King 10 offsuit, very easy raise against the limp. Table 1, going to open pocket sixes from the button. Big blind comes along for a call. A pretty good board for the sixes. 4-3 deuce monotone. Going to go ahead and continuation bet half pot. 5 is obviously a great card, as I've got the better end of the straight against any kind of ace-x type hand. Turn is a queen. I think I can keep value betting here. long as I don't overbet, if I use a 2/3 type sizing, 3/4 type sizing, can value bet over pairs, maybe in a hand like these four. Table 2, open 10-7 suited, blind on blind, getting queen 8-5 two-tone board. Gonna go ahead and put in a small continuation bet here. Got some cards I can pick up equity on and keep barreling. Table 1, opening 10-9 suited from the cutoff. Table 2, my continuation bet gets raised only with very, very weak backdoor draws. I will fold my 10 high. Table 2, opening King Jack suited from the button. Recreational player calls me, get an Ace King a 3 monotone board. I'll go ahead and put in a small bet. Plan to be checking back turns. Maybe if I improve on a non-heart Jack or a King, I could continue value betting, I suppose. Open limping. Table 4, 2.5 open from middle position. Defend the big blind with 7-6 suited. Check on the flop. Decent piece of it. Jack 7 two-tone. Was it in continuation? Bets 1/3. Definitely check column with my 7. Continue checking. Turn is the 4 of clubs. Flush closing turn. Table 3, get a 2.5 open from the short stack in the cutoff. Player behind calls. I'm going to squeeze and get in against the short stack if he makes me. Second barrel on the flush closer here with the 7. I'm just going to go ahead and fold, especially in a tighter formation for middle position here. Would rather have some kind of club in my hand to go with it. Not a particularly bluffy scenario. Player in the 2-seat on table 4 is not reloading. That's a good sign. Not dispositive. Some regs are lazy about using that kind of software, but he's also got a donk there. Donk bet. Probably a wreck. Table 4, I'm on the button with 10-8 offsuit. That one's kind of close. If I thought I had fish in the blinds, I don't necessarily think that as of yet. Close one, though. Table 1, open an ace-6 on the button. Hit 3-bet, easy fold. Table 1, I bet jacks in the cutoff. Go ahead and raise that up. Table 4, opening ace deuce suited from middle position. Table 3, face a 3x button open. I am in the small blind with king 9 suited. Actually a little bit close against a 3x open. He's also been kind of loose passive thus far, although it looks like it's the big blind he's been defending on it for the most part. That one's close. I'll let that one go, though. Table 3, opening queen 8 suited from the button. Big blind comes along, checks to me on 975 rainbow. Go ahead and continuation bet half pot on that low connected board. Got a gut shot, overcard, backdoor flush draw. None of which matters as he quickly check folds. Table 4, 2.5 open from the button. I'm in the big blind with king 9 suited. Gonna go after him with this one. In table 2, got a 3x open from the cutoff. I'm on the button with queen jack. Kind of a marginal hand to 3-bet here. However, I think this guy is probably a recreational player. He's got a donk bet. He's losing money. He's playing on a shorter stack. I'm going to go ahead and put the 3-bet in. Quickly calls. Get an ace-7 deuce two-tone board. Going to go ahead and put in the small continuation bet here. Calls me. Turn is the 10 of diamonds. Giving me a gut shot flush draw. He leads for half pot. Got a lot of equity here. Don't necessarily put a lot of credence in the half pot bet as being strength from a recreational player. I'm going to go ahead and float that one. River is the 5 of diamonds. I only lose to the king of diamonds or queen of diamonds at this point. He checks. I think it's a very easy jam. He checks. A jam. Probably hard for me to have bluffs there, as I'm not sure how many unpaired hands without a diamond I'm calling the turn, but I'm not terribly worried about range construction from guys that I don't think are great players. Table 2, opening 5 is in the cutoff. Get a 3-bet out of the small blind, but on the small size. That usually correlates with recreational players. And give him a yellow tag right off the bat. That small size, if he's a recreational player, that 3-bet is going to be a much more tight, strong range. They tend to be more passive, but the smaller size allows me to call with a lot of hands. Obviously calling pocket pairs against that 3x out of position size. Table 1, going to open queen 10 from the cutoff. Table 2, after I flat, I get an ace king 9 monotone board, of which I have no piece of it. I don't even have the heart in my hand, so I'm just going to be checking this back. Turn is a 9. Going to continue checking my 5s. River is an ace. I now play the board, so I can bluff this hand here. Stabs half pot. Stabs small. I don't really think this is a great candidate to bluff raise. If he's efficient, we're going to be bluff raising him in 3-bet pots. I'm going to call, trying to get the chop. A good thin value bet with the jacks, actually. Nines and kings versus nines and aces. Maybe I shouldn't have even called there. He didn't have the heart either. It really makes that much difference on the river. More just trying to see what he thinks about what hands he bets and checks on the flop. I'm gonna pause for 1 sec here. I am back. Table 4, opening queen 10 from the cutoff. Table 3, button opens 2.5. I'm in the small blind with queen jack. It's a little out of line to 3-bet. Table 3, 7-4 suited on the button. That one's kind of close. I'll fold it, but very much on the line. Table 4, recreational player open limps the button. I will isolate from the blinds with pocket 8s. Probably go about 7s or better as far as my pocket pairs go to raise up here. Limp the other ones behind. Somewhere around there seems pretty reasonable to me. Table 1, open ace deuce suited in middle position. Recreational player big blind comes along. Get a 4-3 deuce two-tone board. Jocks the minimum, bets 1. Table 3 gonna open ace 10 suited under the gun. Just flat the min little donk bet over there on table 1 for now. Turn is a 6. Kind of kills my hand as far as drawing to better. Stabs donks half pot again. Table 2 gonna isolate the under the gun limper from the cutoff with ace 9. Table 3 gonna continuation bet small on the jack 9 for a two-tone board. Half pot bet gonna keep floating right here, make a decision on the river. River the 4 straight now, or the 5 straight on the board. He goes ahead and donks half pot. Kind of marginal to raise. I'll just call here. Oh, good thing I did too. Table 3 or table 4, blind down blind. It checked in. I got top 2 pair against a min bet on 9-6-4 rainbow. You're gonna go ahead and put in a raise. Table 2, get limp called. Got top pair on ace king 3 rainbow. Go ahead and put in a small continuation bet. Turn is the 7. I think I just want to check that one back and induce bluffs or reopen the river for value. I don't know it's strong enough to just start blasting, trying to get a bunch of money in here with sort of a decent top pair. A dry board. He checks the river on that 5, pretty dry, pretty blank. Gonna go ahead and reopen for value now. Table 1, gonna open ace 10 from the button. Table 4, got what appears to be a cutoff open, 2.5. I'm on the button with ace 3 suited. Gonna go ahead and 3-bet that. Table 1, gonna open ace 9 suited from the cutoff. Table 1, my cutoff open gets 3-bet by the big blind. I can defend here for a call, sort of right on the cusp of hands I'd be continuing with. Table 4, my 3-bet gets called by the cutoff. I'll go ahead and continuation bet half pot on 10-8-5 rainbow. Got an overcard, some backdoor draws here. Can be barreling hearts, and then low cards like 4s and deuces that give me a gut shot. 4 got there. I think I'm going to keep barreling this. I guess 6-7 just completed, which is a little bit dicey, but not dicey enough. I'm going to be looking for monsters under the bed. Go ahead and continue. Follow through with that turn C bet. Oh, most likely bluffing off on the river as well. Table 4, opening pocket jacks in the cutoff. Big blind calls, get an ace-8, ace-ace-8 two-tone flop. Checks, I'll put in a small continuation bet. Checking back turns by and large with this particular hand. Hitting a jack would be good, obviously. Turn is the 9. Shouldn't change too much. I think I want to just be betting good trip aces and underfools here. And trap like quads and maybe like the ace-8, ace-9 full houses. Check back my other pairs. River is the 10 of diamonds. Flushes just got there, though I do block them to some extent. I do have very good removal to straights and flushes here with the jack of diamond in my hand. Checks. I think I'll just take my showdown here. Table 1, opening ace queen under the gun. Table 2, rather. Table 4, opening king jack from the middle position. Table 2, staying juicy. This new guy is clicking me back from 2.5 to 5. Table 4 against that 3, but let's go ahead and fold my king jack in that tighter formation. Ace queen is such a common 4-bet bluff hand, but when I've got a guy like this that's min-raising me, I think I'd rather just take it for, not min-raising, but doubling it 2x me. I think I'll just play it for a call and go to the flop. Jack 8 deuce two-tone. I do have the ace of spades in my hand. Other than that, not too much going on. The 10 of clubs is a good card. Now I have a double gut shot here. I'm going to keep checking against a suspected recreational player, though I'm not trying to fold him off anything. He goes ahead and stabs half pot. I will check call, ace queen high. River is the 9. Now I have the 4 straight. I think I'll just keep checking in flow. There's definitely an argument for leading out donk betting against these guys. He had pocket king, so the king would have really done him dirty. Top set against the nuts. Table 1, open 10-7 suited from the cutoff. Big blind defends, getting 9-7-4 monotone board. I will go ahead and continuation bet small. Check calls. Turn is the blanky blank offsuit deuce. I'll go ahead and check back my 7 at this point. Move towards showdown. Table 2, limper under the gun. I'll check in my big blind. Get a king 5-3 rainbow. Checks through. Turn is a king. I'll send my bluff out with my gut shot. Face a block bet on the river here. I'm going to just go ahead and call with my third pair. Too strong to fold against a size like that. Not much in the way of great removal as far as a bluff raise can. And just take my call against 6-8. The hand is good. Opening aces from middle position over here on table 1 now. This guy calls out of the small blind. Recreational player comes along for a call as well. I'm in position against 2 blind players. I don't think this guy's a wreck, but I definitely am convinced this guy is. I'm going to go ahead and put in a small continuation bet multi-way with my overpair, sizing down even more than usual because of all the guys involved in the multi-way pot. Get check raised. A little bit worried about a hand like pocket deuces. This guy could be calling from the small blind, trying to suck this guy in, but obviously not folding an overpair to 1 reasonably sized check raise. Turn the 4 of diamonds. Doesn't improve any theoretical draws he might have been check raising. He continues out, and I just don't think guys are going to be bluffing that heavily in this line. We had a tight formation. We were multi-way. He's out of the small blind. He was probably trying to rope the recreational player in the big blind. There's not a lot of natural bluffs on the flop. Yeah, I guess some straight draws. Backdoor diamond flush draws I'd block. I don't know. Don't love folding hands like aces, but I think it makes sense to do so on a spot like this. Table 4, min open under the gun. I'm in the big blind with ace-jack. Defend for a call. Check on the flop. Checking on the 9-7-3 rainbow flop. Not that great a flop for ace-jack offsuit. He stabs half pot. If it's okay, just go ahead and fold ace high in this tighter formation. Table 3, blind on blind, face a standard open. I'll go ahead and 3-bet my pocket jacks. Guy's been on the nitty side, blind on blind. 8-10 is close. I'll go after him because I think I'll get a few more folds than I should. Table 4, 2.5x open for middle position. I'm in the cutoff with ace 3 suited. This one you could 3-bet, but it's a little loose side. I want to know that he's either too prone to folding, too out of line with this pre-flop RFI, as you're just generally going to be a bad player post-flop. It's a reasonable hand to 3-bet, though. Looking for a suited's kind of marginal. Got so many fishy players in here, though. I think I'm going to go ahead and get myself out of line. New player cold calling from middle position, so that's already a little suspicious to me. Here comes one of the wrecks. Get a Jack 10-6 two-tone board. No real piece of it. I'll be checking range anyway out of position to 2 players. Table 1, the recreational player up on limps. Cut off. I'll isolate the button with Jack 9 suited. Check fold the pot size stab multi-way over here on table 2 with my king high. My isolation raise faces a 3-bet. About 3.5x. I think this hand is too weak to defend against that with that much money already bloating in pre-flop. At least for that price. Table 3, get a recreational player limps. More of a reg type guy, but he limps behind. I'll isolate from the blinds with ace 10. Table 3, gonna open ace 10 from the cutoff. Big blind calls me. I'll go ahead and put a continuation bet again after he checks to me on Jack 6-3 diamonds or two-tone. No diamond in my hand. Hit check raise small. I'd be floating this with Queen 10 with a diamond. Without, I think it's just fine to fold. Table 1 will open ace 8 suited. We're technically heads up right now. I'll stick around for a minute and see if my rec buddy comes back, but not looking pretty. Recreational player opens little over min raise up here on table 2. I'm in the button with 8-7 suited. I think I'm going to want to go after him here. Free bet. Another recreational player cold calls the 3-bet. RFI player does as well. Pretty interesting flop for my ace-7 suited king, queen, 10, two-tone, giving me the nut flush draw and the gut shot. One rec donk leads for half pot. The other guy flat calls. I see no reason to do anything but call in position and look to hit my gin card. King is not the best card, as now full houses have me drawing dead if somebody somehow has something like that. I think I'll just check back here. River is the ace, giving me showdown value with although not all that great a hand at the same time. Lose to any trips, lose to any jack. Happy to show this down if they let me. Not so happy to bluff catch, I don't think. Although that's a super bluffy line. Donk check donk is about as bluffy as it gets with these guys. Work hard straight turn. I think I still gotta try it. Quad kings. Table 3, min open under the gun. I'm in the cutoff. Ace 9 suited. A little out of line to 3-bet it. Table 4, open king 10 from the cutoff. Small blind calls me. Recreational small blind with some limps on record. He leads 4. He leads a little bit stronger than usual. I'm going to float this with the overcards. Backdoor straight draw. Less prone to try to make a play on him later because of the larger flop size. However, that turn size does not scream strength to me. Go ahead and put in the raise. There we go. Table 1, blind on blind, recreational player limps. I check in 7-3. He probes for the minimum on ace 7 deuce rainbow. I'll call with my 7s. 7-3, backdoor spade draw. He checks on the 10. I'll check back my showdown value. He checks again. I'll check down. I beat bottom pair with second pair on the flop. Recreational player open limps the button, table 1. I'll isolate from the small blind with queen jack. A limp call. It's getting monotone flop. 8-3 deuce. I will check that one. Really bad flop for the opposition player. He checks back. Turn is a board pairing deuce. Board still low. I'll keep checking. River is the 10. Not going to try to show down my queen high now. I'll just go for a fake value bet. Bluff with my queen high. Don't take it away from 3-4, though I don't necessarily think that I should. Definitely not going to try to give up queen high there. All 3 streets. Table 4, got a 2.5 open from the cutoff. I'll 3-bet it on my big blind with pocket queens. Calls me, get a low board. I'm going to range check this low board as it smacks a calling range and does not do a whole lot for my 3-bet range. I, of course, happen to have a strong hand this particular time, but I've got so many leftover cards and no straights, no sets here. So I'm going to range check. Check raises are going to be over pairs for value and then like some backdoor flush draw type hands. He checks back. I'm going to go ahead and start betting the turn. Can have all kinds of flush draws here to semi-bluff with. Very natural bluffs on that deuce of diamonds, putting the backdoor flush draw up there. Table 3, 2.5x open under the gun. I'm in the big blind with ace queen. You could 3-bet this, but I like to call it from earlier positions. Go ahead and check call. Or call, then check the flop on 9-3 deuce rainbow. I can check call. This board is so unlikely to have hit much of his pre-flop raising range either. And check call at least once. Stabs for continuation, bets half pot. I'll check call, check the turn. Table 2, open ace-6, blind on blind. Get called by recreational player. Get a king-10 deuce rainbow board. I'll put in a small continuation bet on that one. Low board over here on table 1. It gets the double barrel. I think I can actually... It's close with ace-queen high. Given that I can actually draw to a 4 as well, and it's only a half pot, but I think I call that another time. Rivered the 4, so I've got the low end of the straight on a backdoor flush closing river. He checks back. My ace plays and is good. See what he had. Table 2, opening queen jack from the button. He had pocket 8s. Reasonably played hand. My button open gets min-raised by the big blind from a recreational player on table 2. Happy to call everything against that size. Flop a decent top pair on queen 6-5 two-tone. Not looking to shovel lots of money in here yet unless I improve. He continuation bets large, 7 into just over 8. Table 1, I'm going to just go ahead and semi-bluff my weak club there against the flop check back and the limp pot. Another continuation bet, or another turn continuation bet here. Got top pair. I don't think I can be considering folding that quite yet. He bets half pot on the river. I just got to go ahead and call that down based on pot odds. It's not the best spot, but holding top pair against that. Oh, and burned so hard. Outkicked by 1 rank. Got a great table and not having great things happen to me with that great table up here. That's the way some sessions go, though. Pausing for 1 sec. I am back. Table 2 gonna open Jack 10 under the gun and keep going after these recreational players. Give them another chance to crack my head here. Table 3, 3x open from the button. I'm in the big blind with Ace Jack suited. Gonna go ahead and raise that up. Table 1 gonna open King 8 suited under the gun. Slightly loose, but not unreasonable, especially with the recreational player involved. Table 2, get called by 2 Rex, 1 in position, 1 out. I'll check range, sandwich between the 2 players. Have a couple overcards, backdoor draws on 8-6 deuce. Rainbow. Turn is the 5, completing the rainbow. Still have overcards, no real straight draw. He goes ahead and donks out, or probes out small. Gonna go ahead and put in a raise against that. Table 1, recreational player calls on the button, get a Jack 6-4 two-tone board. I've got an overcard, a backdoor flush draw. I'm going to go ahead and continuation bet small as opposed to trying to check call against a guy like that or check raise. Turn is an 8, giving me some showdown value, some bluff catching value. So I'm going to start checking. He checks back. River is the ace of spades. Going to keep checking. Not going to try to value bet this, not even for a block size. And he pots the river. Bluff raise with Jack 10 gets through. I'll check bet. That's pretty bluffy in general, even for a pot size bet. I'm gonna go ahead and look it up. Ace Jack. Really should have just bet the turn on me there. Whatever. I am not folding the recreational players. Not starting now. Gonna have to show it to me over and over and over again. Table 4, opening deuces on the button. Recreational player calls on the small blind. Here we go, a set of deuces, 6-4 deuce rainbow, and just when I thought things couldn't get any better, he goes and donk leads for 6x pot. I mean, I could put it all in right now and force him to call off, or just call and let him do it. I think I'll do that in case he actually has some bullshit airball he's going to fold. Turn is the flush closing 10 turn. He continues for the last half pot. I call off with deuces. I'm against pocket sevens. He picked up a lot of equity there on that turn because he had the diamond in his hand, but I don't want to risk blowing him off that. Although I guess he's not folding the overpair on that board anyway. Not after that action. Table 1, defending the min raise from the wreck with Queen 8 suited. Table 4, opening King 6 suited from the button. Table 1 checks through on the Ace King 9 board. Turn is the Jack of clubs, put in a backdoor flush draw. I'm going to go ahead and probe the turn with my gut shot. Got there on the river there. Got the nuts. Just go ahead and value bet. Mash the pot button here with my strong hand. Get called by worse. My hand is good. Table 4, get a King Queen 7 two-tone board. I'll put in a small continuation bet, and I pick that one up quickly. Got a cutoff 3x open on table 4. I'm in the small blind with Jack 10 suited. Gonna put my 3-bet in there. Table 2, recreational player limps. I'll check my big blind with 9-3. I check the flop and I'll check call against the min stab on king queen 3-2 tone. Check the turn as well. Deuce of hearts, flush closing turn. Hand's only getting weaker. I think I will fold to that second stab there with that low pair, no heart. Squeeze opportunity on table 3, 3x open from the middle position player, and the button comes along for a call. This guy a wreck. I'm pretty active, but it's not like he's cold calling in spots that are necessarily unreasonable. Ace 10 kind of on a line to squeeze with there anyway, even if he is a wreck. Men open from a recreational player in the cutoff on table 1. I'll defend very widely from my big blind against that size against a recreational player, so I'm calling with the 7-3 suited. Flop checks through an ace 9-6 two-tone. I have the flush draw. Turn is a 5 out there, giving me some straight draw as well. I'm going to go ahead and probe the turn. Table 4, opening pocket 7s under the gun. Get a double gut shot to go with the flush draw. 4s or 8s both make my hand. He raises me. Got too much equity to fold. Not going to put any kind of play on this guy. Looking some kind of bet 3-bet type line here. I think I'll just go ahead flat, try to hit my card. Don't hit it, so I'll check fold my 7 high. Table 4, cutoff opens 2.5. I'm on the button with pocket queens. Very obvious standard 3-bet right here. So I'll go ahead and put in my re-raise. Everyone quickly folds. Table 4, I'll open king 10 from the cutoff. Recreational player on the button, or at least presumed to rec 30 blinds deep, just 3-bet jams 30 blinds. I'll fold king high versus that. Table 1, I got 10-9 in the cutoff. Slightly loose on the cusp, but I got a recreation player in the big blinds, so I'm playing with him. Or picking up the pot pre-flop, as I did there. Table 2, open ace 10 in the cutoff. Table 4, going to open king queen suited blind on blind. Table 1, button opens 2.5. I'll 3-bet from my small blind with ace king. Button calls me, get a pretty good flop. Ace, queen, deuce, two-tone. Gonna go ahead and continuation bet small. Plan to keep shoving more money in this pot on most runouts. Calls me, turn is the 9, shouldn't change a whole lot. Go ahead and turn barrel. Table 2, big blind calls, checks to me on ace 9, 8, two-tone. I'll put in a small continuation bet. Get called. Pretty blank run out there. I guess he could have made some 2 pairs or been trapping with sets, but I've still got top pair, top kicker. You know, about a 2/3, 3/4 bet left, putting the rest in with top pair, top kicker. Gets snap called by ace queen. That's the way the cookie crumbles today, I suppose. Checked back the turn on that board pairing 9 on table 2. River pairs again, so now we've got ace 9, 8, 9, 8. He leads into me for 3/4. No reason to raise, no reason to fold. Just a very standard call. Outkicked by 1 rank again. I hope these guys are having fun with me today because they are just running roughshod over me every which way. And it's about time to cut the session anyway, so. Congratulations, Ignition Pool. Y'all win this round, but I'll be back later for another go. Table 3, opening queen 9 suited from middle position. Table 1, opening ace 6 suited from the cutoff. Recreational player Big Blind calls me, get an 8-7-4 two-tone board. I've got the gut shot, ace high, overcard. Checks to me, I'll continuation bet half pot. Check calls. Turn is the king. I want to keep aggressively bluffing these guys. Now he leads into me for half pot. I do not give a lot of credence to these smallish donk bets. I think the move is just going to be to put pressure on this guy here. So I'm putting in my raise. Calls. I brick out on my gut shot. River is the jack. I've got busted gut shot draw ace high. He probably should not be all that strong here though. Expect a high frequency check from this guy. He bets half pot. Takes away my chance to bluff. I really don't think I can bluff raise against this guy here. Think about it for a minute. Probably not the smartest scenario to try to put a move on a recreational player. Just let that one go. We'll play aces here from middle position. Fortunately, I'm not fully stacked right now from the last hand. Got sixes under the gun. Play those for the last hand. Face a 3-bet. Not going to continue as wide as I might otherwise do it because I'm shorter stacked. Not as much reward if I can actually make my hand here, so I'm going to fold this one. And that's it for me for now. Till next time, this is Charlie Murphy. Thank you for tuning in.